It is 5:03, January 30th, 2023. Yeah, cell phone's a magic wand. So, I have 16 air pressure in my back left tire, and the cell phone is a magic wand. The cell phone is a magic wand because you can manifest shit with it. So right now I am recording a video on my cell phone while driving. And I'm just rambling and talking about nonsense, but the idea here is if I were to do this 1,000 times in a row, 1,000 days in a row, on that 1,000th day, I would have amassed a following on a social media platform, given the fact that I am posting these to a social media platform. There's no other tool in the world that you can do this with. Not even close. It is the most profound tool as far as manifesting reality that has ever been created. It puts the magic wand to shame, and I think that I could literally just talk here and ramble and talk about absolutely fucking nothing. And just sit here and talk about fucking nothing. Talk about why the sky is blue. I could literally just sit here and do that, and I'm going to sit here and do that because I know if I do that for long enough, I will amass a following, and it's literally just the law of manifestation. There's no way around it. It's universal truth. And this is what is meant when people say anyone can get rich, anyone can da-da-da in today's. This is what they mean. They mean that all you have to do is just fucking consistently put anything out into the internet. Put anything out there consistently. Put anything out there consistently. You will gain traction with it. You will amass a following with it. You will have people who will pay you to continue doing it. It doesn't matter what the fuck I do. If I do it for long enough, there will be people who will pay me to continue doing it. It's just how it is. And knowing this, it kind of takes the guesswork out of the equation, because you don't really have a choice. Because your choice is either to do that and have your money working semi-passively for you, or you can be a fucking slave. Those are your only two options. You don't have a third option. You don't have a fourth option. You can either do that or you can be a fucking slave. There is no fucking, it's one or the other. It's A or B, it's one or two, or I guess 0 or 1 if we're talking binaries, true or false, right or left, up or down. Yeah. Your only two options are to be a slave or to be a wizard. You're either going to be a slave or you're going to be a wizard. I can name this video, are you going to be a slave or are you going to be a wizard? But I'm probably going to name this video, the phone is a magic wand, because that's a more profound truth, all-encompassing truth. But now that I think about it, it actually isn't, because the idea of being a wizard, your phone being a magic wand is a thought that is encompassed by the greater thought of being a wizard. So it would actually be a more universal truth to say that you're either a slave or a wizard. And that takes the guesswork out of it, because who would choose to be a slave? Who would choose to be a slave? Right? That's what Kanye was talking about. He said slavery is a choice. Well, it kind of is now. Back then, maybe not, but now it is. Right now, it definitely is, because you have a cell phone. Anyone who has a cell phone is choosing to be a slave. If you work a 9 to 5 and you have a cell phone, you're choosing to be a slave. You could literally be talking anything. And you know what else? It doesn't even have to be a consistent topic. You could choose different topics as long as you're speaking about them over time. You could choose different topics. You don't have to be talking about the same thing. If you talk for long enough, people will just tune in to hear you speak. That's the genius of podcasting, is that if you do it for long enough, people will just tune in to hear you fucking speak. Yeah. And then, I mean, there's just no, there's literally no guesswork involved in it. Like, it's just an all-encompassing truth. The only thing is, like, if you don't have, like, I've seen a couple people who just literally do not have the skills to speak. Like, if you were to, like, have to get up in front of a stage and, like, give a talk without a script, people can't do that, okay? No, so if you're one of the people who can't do that, then what I would need you to do is just do more embarrassing shit, because doing embarrassing shit over time takes that stage fright away from you, because you don't give a fuck, because no one gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. You could literally walk down the street butt-ass naked. Nobody would give a fuck. So the fear of, like, stage fright, like that freezing up, all that is you think people care, because deep down you're actually a narcissist. So deep down you actually think people care, like you think that people give, like, a specialized attention to you, which is not the case. So you have to lose that, and the only way to lose that is by doing embarrassing shit. And if you're like me, you will have the luxury of having a childhood that has a ton of extremely embarrassing moments that you can pull from, and then you can look back and say, oh, nothing happened to me there, so I'm good here. I have thousands of embarrassing moments. Thousands, actually, in the thousands. Not hundreds, thousands. I guarantee you it's thousands. And, okay, maybe it's not thousands, but it doesn't matter. I'll just keep adding to it. Like, this is another one, and I'll just keep fucking adding to it, because I don't give a fuck. And, yeah. I'm just gonna record this video on my magic wand, and, you know, I'm gonna post this into the ether, and it doesn't matter where I post it. If I post something like this on a consistent basis for enough days, that will manifest some level of clout, right? And then that clout, all I have to do is be a little bit clever, make a t-shirt, something, right? And you instantly monetize it. And that is why I think that people say stuff like being broke is a mindset. I think that's why people say stuff like that, because it really is. Because look how freaking easy it is to put something together. Now, it sounds more easy than it actually is, because you have the consistency of that is difficult. You have to post a video when you don't feel like posting videos. You have to find stuff to talk about when you've talked about 100 things, right? Because before 1 year is up, you would have went through 100 different topics. But if you're creative, I mean, shoot, I have how many tweets on my Twitter, and I don't even use Twitter. I have over 500 tweets. Each one of those tweets can be a topic. So I have over 500 topics. So that's not a real problem, right? And as I speak, I'm looking at the clock. I'm waiting for it to get to 10 minutes, right? Once it gets to 10 minutes, I'll know that, you know, that's the general time that you need a YouTube video to be, to get some kind of, like, level of engagement. I mean, shit, as I'm recording this on my way home from work, somebody could be listening to it on the way home from work. And it's just that simple, right? What I will say is this: if you're like 17 years old, you don't have enough life experience to ramble on like this. Like, I could literally just ramble on about anything that's happened to me in the past 10 years. I'm 29 years old. I could ramble on about anything that's happened to me in the past 10 years, right? And it would be like something I can talk about. A 17-year-old can't do that. A 17-year-old was a baby like 5 years ago. You know what I mean? You don't even have the capacity to form like complex thought, in my opinion, until you're like 8 or 9 years old. Before that, you're literally just like an amoeba, just like reacting to like what's around you. And then like once you're like 9, 10 years old, now you can like put together thoughts, be like, oh, I want some candy. Let me steal some money out of my mom's purse. Let me go to the store while she's not looking, and let me go buy some candy. Like, you can't do shit like that until you're like maybe like 9. I'd say maybe 8 at the very earliest, unless you're one of these weirdo Gen Z kids. Oh my god. Yeah, and you just freaking, like, some of these kids like are watching porn at 6 years old. Okay, so if you're like that, then this rule doesn't really apply to you, because you had a smartphone when you were like 3 years old. So I'm just talking about the general public, I guess, which will be mostly Gen Z kids in a couple of years now anyway. So I guess my point is completely invalid. Doesn't really matter either way, considering the fact that I have reached the 10-minute mark. So I'm going to go ahead and close this video, and yeah, wait till the next one.